Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today is an absolutely beautiful day to dive deep into the wild, unpredictable drama happening in Fairmont Crest. We have some explosive, jaw-dropping spoilers to unpack today, and trust me, you are not ready for this tea. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and let's get right into the madness of Beyond the Gates. Right now, the entire Fairmont Crest community is holding its collective breath. We all know that Catherine "Cat" Richardson is currently fighting for her very life on the operating table. After finally agreeing to be the living liver donor for her half-sister, and let's be honest, her ultimate rival, Eva Thomas, things have gone horribly wrong. A severe medical complication has left Cat's fate completely up in the air. Nicole Dupree and Ted Richardson are sitting vigil in the waiting room, absolutely consumed by guilt and terror. But while the parents are weeping and praying for a miracle, a completely different, incredibly dark conversation is happening just down the hall. And you won't believe what is being said. Let's shift our focus away from the sterile waiting room and over to Tomas Navarro and Chelsea Hamilton. Chelsea has been the ultimate MVP lately, hasn't she? She's been the grounded voice of reason, bringing Cat clothes when she refused to go home, acting as a sounding board, and holding her cousin's hand through this nightmare. But today, Chelsea isn't counseling Cat. She is listening to Tomas, and Tomas is about to drop a psychological bomb that will change the entire trajectory of the Richardson-Smith family. Tomas confides in Chelsea that he is seriously contemplating breaking up with Cat. Yes, you heard that correctly. While his girlfriend is literally cut open on an operating table fighting a surgical complication that could kill her, Tomas is planning his exit strategy. I have to say, I am absolutely furious with him right now. What kind of coward waits until his partner is hovering between life and death to decide he wants out? But as we peel back the layers of Tomas's confession, the psychology behind his decision is as fascinating as it is horrifying. Tomas reveals to Chelsea that his desire to run isn't just about the stress of the tornado or the recent hospital drama. It goes much, much deeper. He brings up the explosive rumors surrounding Cat and Eva's true parentage. We have all seen the theories circulating online, and apparently the characters in Fairmont Crest are whispering about them too. Tomas is terrified by the rumor that Cat might actually be Leslie, Thomas's biological daughter, switched at birth with Eva. And let's be real for a second. If Cat truly shares Leslie's DNA, that is a terrifying prospect for any man looking to build a peaceful future. Tomas looks at Chelsea and admits his ultimate fear. He is terrified that Cat is slowly but surely turning into a second Leslie. Think about it. Look at Leslie's history of unhinged, domineering behavior. We just watched Leslie completely lose her mind, screaming at Cat in the hospital stairwell, threatening Darlene Hawthorne at the police station, and crashing events she wasn't invited to just to assert dominance. Leslie is a master manipulator who uses her pain as a weapon. Tomas looks at Cat, and he sees those exact same toxic traits bubbling to the surface. He confesses that he absolutely cannot stomach the idea of spending the rest of his life dealing with a younger, equally controlling version of Leslie Thomas. But here's the kicker, and this is where the storyline gets incredibly dark. Tomas admits to Chelsea that Cat's sudden surgical complication feels like an omen, a twisted sign from the universe that their relationship is meant to end. He feels a desperate need to escape the endless, suffocating vortex of the Richardson-Smith family drama before it drags him under completely. He tells Chelsea that he is just waiting for Cat to wake up so he can officially end their turbulent romance. Then, Tomas crosses a line that I don't think he can ever come back from. With tears in his eyes, he shares a brutal, ugly truth with Chelsea. When he thinks about the very real possibility that Cat might never wake up from the surgery, he doesn't feel agonizing grief. He feels relief. Wow. Can you even imagine admitting that out loud? He feels a profound, overwhelming sense of relief at the thought of being permanently freed from her. Tomas is entirely disgusted with himself for feeling this way. He is a good guy. We know he cares deeply about people, like his foster brother who he checked on during the tornado. So for him to feel relief over his girlfriend's potential death means he is broken inside. He admits to Chelsea that his life with Cat has felt like an endless cycle of psychological manipulation. He is exhausted. He fears that if she wakes up, he will just get sucked right back into her web of control and guilt. He wants freedom. He wants a love that brings him peace, not a relationship that feels like a waking nightmare. And he has made a firm decision, whether Kat wakes up or not, he is never going back to the way things were. Now, let's talk about Chelsea's reaction, because I know exactly how I would react, and I bet Chelsea is feeling the exact same way. Many fans might think Tomas is justified, but I think Chelsea is going to be absolutely outraged. Chelsea is fiercely loyal. She just spent days defending Kat's right to choose what to do with her own body. She watched Kat cry, struggle with her hatred for Eva, and ultimately make the incredibly selfless, terrifying decision to donate a piece of her liver just to save her enemy's life. For Tomas to sit there and call Kat a manipulative monster in the middle of her ultimate sacrifice, that is a slap in the face. I predict Chelsea's going to rip into Tomas. She is going to call out his horrific timing and his sheer selfishness. But Chelsea is also incredibly wise and empathetic. Once her initial anger subsides, she is going to step into the role of therapist. Chelsea knows a thing or two about trauma. Let's not forget the absolute nightmare she endured when she was kidnapped by Allison. Chelsea knows what it feels like to be trapped, terrified, and desperate for an escape route. She is going to look Tomas in the eye and ask him the hard questions. Is this what he truly wants? Or is this just the trauma of the tornado, the stress of the hospital, and the sheer terror of the surgery talking? Chelsea is going to issue a dire warning to Tomas. She will remind him that breaking up with Kat the moment she opens her eyes would be the ultimate act of cruelty. Kat is going to wake up physically broken, in immense pain, and emotionally vulnerable. She did the surgery for her father, Ted, and she is going to need her support system more than ever. If Tomas drops this breakup bomb on her while she is recovering in a hospital bed, it will completely destroy her. Chelsea will fear that Kat will suffer a total mental collapse. She will beg Tomas not to make a rash, irreversible decision based on fear and exhaustion. This entire conversation feels like a massive test for Tomas. The universe is pushing him to his absolute limits to see what he is truly made of. Does he actually want to leave Kat, or is he just desperate for a break from the chaos? Sometimes, when we are pushed to the brink of losing someone, it clarifies our true feelings. If Kat flatlines, will that relief Tomas claims to feel suddenly turn into unbearable, soul-crushing grief? I strongly believe that through this horrific ordeal, Tomas might actually realize how much he loves her. Or, conversely, it might solidify his need to run for the hills. And we cannot ignore the massive elephant in the room, the DNA theory. If Tomas is right, and Kat is actually Leslie's biological daughter, this liver transplant is going to be the catalyst that exposes the truth. Before transplant, they run extensive blood, tissue, and genetic typing tests. If Kat and Eva are actually full sisters, or if the DNA proves Nicole is not Kat's mother, those medical records are going to blow the lid off this entire town. If Kat wakes up and finds out her entire life is a lie, and that the woman she despises, Leslie, is her real mother, she is going to spiral out of control. If that happens, Tomas's worst nightmare will come true. Kat will likely inherit Leslie's fortune, her toxic defense mechanisms, and her manipulative streak. She will become Leslie too out of sheer survival instinct. Will Tomas stick around to help her navigate that identity crisis, or will he pack his bags and leave her to drown in the Dupree-Thomas family warfare? I have to say, my heart breaks for Kat. Yes, she can be difficult. Yes, she lashed out at Isaiah in the stairwell and played the victim. But she ultimately did the right thing. She put her life on the line. The tragic irony here is almost too much to bear. Kat sacrificed a piece of her own body to save her enemy, hoping to win the love and approval of her father, Ted. But in doing so, she might end up losing the man she loves. It is a classic, devastating soap opera tragedy. Will Chelsea's advice get through to Tomas? Will he put his own feelings of disgust and exhaustion aside to be the man Kat needs when she wakes up? Or will he walk out of that hospital leaving a shattered Kat behind to pick up the pieces of her broken body and her broken heart. And what happens if Kat doesn't wake up at all? Tomas will have to live with the crushing guilt of knowing his last thoughts about her were wishing for his own freedom. This storyline is delivering everything we love about Beyond the Gates. High-stakes medical drama, deep psychological conflict, legacy character secrets, and jaw-dropping plot twists. I cannot wait to see how Chelsea handles this explosive confession and what Tomas ultimately decides to do. The fallout from this surgery is going to reshape the entire landscape of Fairmont Crest. What do you guys think? Is Tomas justified in wanting to escape a toxic relationship, or is he a coward for picking the absolute worst time to bail? Do you think the DNA test will finally prove Kat is Leslie's daughter? Let me know all your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments below. I love reading your takes. Stay tuned because the drama is only just beginning.